This was the scene back in 2022. North Texans cheering on the U.S. men's team at the World Cup in Qatar. You were saying earlier, all of these guys you remember from years past, they're kind of aging out a little bit.
Well, it's kind of like the Olympics. It's an every 4-year event, and so the window is small.
It is.
It's really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Back in 22, the U.S. made it to the knockout round of 16. This time, with the expansion of the tournament, it will be a round of 32 out of the group stage. Unfortunately, then the U.S. lost to a really talented Netherlands team, 3-1. The U.S. had 4 of the 5 youngest lineups in the last Cup, and many of those players, like Christian Pulisic, will be on the roster again this coming summer.
Yeah, let's go back out to Washington, D.C., where the big draw is going to take place later on this morning at the Kennedy Center. Rebecca Castor out there reporting for us. Rebecca, we've been talking all morning long about the star power, the political presence that's going to be at the Kennedy Center. I can imagine security is going to be awfully tight.
Oh, it definitely is. It took me an hour, over an hour to get through security this morning. They have the mags up. Everybody is going through TSA-style security. They're checking everybody's bags. But it's really still an exciting day here where the nation's capital, it's really turning into a sports town with all eyes watching this World Cup draw to find out the path teams must face to win it all this summer.
The biggest FIFA World Cup ever all starts with the final draw.
And it all goes down at Washington's iconic Kennedy Center, where people from all around the world will be watching and waiting to see who their country will face off against.
This is what the World Cup is about. It's millions of people coming, billions of people watching, 7 million in the stadium.
This World Cup will be bigger than past tournaments, with 48 teams expanded from 32, competing in 104 games over 5 weeks. Today, as celebrities pull balls out of bowls, teams will be split into 12 groups of 4 for the opening stage and learn who their first 3 opponents will be.
There's going to be drama, there's going to be intrigue, there's going to be surprises. Some will be happy and some won't.
The group stage and following knockout round will take place in 16 cities across the U.S., Canada, and Mexico, with 11 of those stadiums in the USA.
This is going to be a special moment, in my humble opinion, where everyone's going to be coming together to celebrate the beautiful game.
Hosting the World Cup is a point of pride for President Trump, who will be on stage for today's star-studded draw. Also participating, Kevin Hart, Tom Brady, Shaquille O'Neal, Heidi Klum, and more. There will also be musical performances, including one of the president's favorite bands, the Village People.
The Drought will be absolutely stunning, a big, big show. We are in America, we have to make a show.
FIFA will also hand out today its first ever Peace Prize, which they say will honor an individual's extraordinary efforts to end conflicts around the world. And it's been no secret who that is likely going to today. Paige and Jeff, back to you.
All right, Rebecca, thanks for the report. Still much more to come here on The Kick. Fox Sports soccer analyst Alexi Lalas telling us about his experience in the 1994 World Cup and how so much has changed since then.
We got Gina back with us. Much more to come. Stay with us.
Saying Super Bowl.
Hey, welcome back. We want to bring you right to the action. Billy Bob's Texas in the Stockyards. Such an iconic location for a big FIFA draw watch party. Welcome back to The Kick. We are continuing our countdown to the FIFA final draw for the 2026 World Cup.
And at the bottom of the hour, we will hand our coverage over to Fox Sports. They will continue to break down the best and the worst possible group stage opponents for the U.S. men's national team. Alexi Lalas, now with Fox Sports, was on the '94 U.S. men's team in the World Cup that was last hosted here on American soil. And he talked with Gina Miller about his experience then and how the sport has changed.
So let's go into the Wayback Machine. The 1994 World Cup really was transformative for so many reasons. What was it really like being a part of that experience on U.S. soil when soccer objectively was still akin to somewhat of an outsider sport? Was there a moment where you thought, okay, this is bigger than we ever imagined?
Yeah, I mean, nothing prepares you for a World Cup, especially from an individual perspective. Like I said, it changed my life forever, and incredible opportunities both on and off the field. And I lived that power, and my life changed overnight. You know, I tell the story all the time. A couple weeks before the World Cup in 1994, I got on the plane, sat in my middle seat, as we did back then in economy, sat next to a Southern woman and older woman, and we struck up a conversation, and she, saw that we were kind of all wearing our polos, and she said, what do you do? I said, I play soccer. And she said, well, what's your job? I said, well, I play soccer. And then she said, well, son, how do you make money? I said, ma'am, I play soccer. And a couple weeks later, I'm in front of 1 billion people. And that's just to give you an idea of and perspective of what soccer was.
At what moment or point during the '94 tournament where you and your teammates looked around and said, wait a second, Americans are actually falling in love with this sport, with us, with what this sport can become? What was that moment for you?
Like most teams, you're kind of sequestered away for good reason, especially with the delinquents that I was playing with, including myself. So we had to protect everybody and protect ourselves from ourselves. But at one point, we were kind of let out to kind of release, kick off some steam. And I remember walking into a restaurant and everybody's standing up and cheering. And look, I'm under no delusion. I recognize that. Yes, it was through soccer, but what really I think what was being celebrated was America. And Americans, we live in a time where obviously there's a lot of division, and people want to celebrate things. We've seen this happen recently with baseball. We've seen this happen recently with hockey. And I think it can happen with soccer, too, next year. People want to celebrate this country. Oh, and not for nothing, but next summer is the 250th birthday of the greatest country in the world, as far as I'm concerned. So there's a lot of synergy. There's a lot of things going on. And so I think what we saw in 1994 was one thing. What we can see in 2026 will be a whole nother thing.
You really can't accomplish anything here in this country. In the 90s, you were truly a soccer icon. You had the hair, you had the goatee. I don't know what the facial hair was technically called. Was it a goatee?
Yeah, it was a goatee. It was a lot of hair ago.
It was a lot of hair ago. The hair is still very good. But now you're a bit of a media icon, Alexi. But if you weren't playing soccer in the 90s, what would your alternate reality have been?
Oh, I probably would have been some, ridiculous English teacher on some campus spouting off BS about, how to live life. I don't know. It would probably be, involved in music in some way too. Yeah. I do a lot of music and that kind of stuff. So I didn't fall into soccer in that I'm a product of youth soccer in America. The orange peels and juice boxes and my parents coaching and all that kind of stuff. A lot of stuff that the kids still do today, and I'm incredibly proud of that. But I didn't grow up with the ambition of being a professional soccer player. And it's unfortunate because that just wasn't on the radar. I had posters of hockey players and musicians on my wall, but not soccer players. And so every level that I got to, I always said, well, if this is as good as it gets, that's pretty good, because I never had that aspiration until later, and then there was the possibility here and there.
All right, some great perspective. And here is Gina Miller once again. And so, everything is fluid right now, and You're very close with Dan Hunt, and he was texting you some photos from the Kennedy Center?
Yeah, so security to get into the Kennedy Center, where the draw is taking place, is incredibly tight, as you can imagine, with 3 sitting presidents in attendance today, with so many heads of state and mayors and governors. We have a huge delegation from the city of Frisco who hopes to be a base camp at the Kennedy Center today. I'm sure representatives from the city of Dallas and other people are there, but big day, lots of security, lots more to come, I'm sure.
So much going on.
Yeah, we're excited. Gina, thank you so much. All right, thanks for joining us here on The Kick. Our coverage continues on Fox Local after the break. For our TV viewers, we're going to turn it over to Fox Sports for a closer look at how the final draw will unfold. Stick with us. Hey, welcome back to The Kick. Our lead-up coverage to the final draw for the 2026 FIFA World Cup in just half an hour. We will begin to find out which teams will likely play here in North Texas during group stage matches.
Yeah, the FIFA presentation will be a celebrity event. England soccer star Rio Ferdinand will conduct the draw alongside broadcast host Samantha Johnson. There's a red carpet event. Eli Manning, who we don't really care about too much here in Dallas, will be hosting that. Tom Brady, Aaron Judge, Wayne Gretzky, Shaquille O'Neal. Yeah, we're missing the Dallas sports icons here.
Where's Dirk at?
But yeah, they will be assisting the team selection process, so you'll have the other 4 major North American sports represented on soccer's biggest stage.
Our Major League Soccer home team, of course, FC Dallas, will have at least one player represented at the World Cup. Very cool.
Yeah, Lucius Dondiedson will play for the Haiti national team. FC Dallas is hosting a watch event for today's draw, and our Dan Godwin is up there at Toyota Stadium. Dan, what's the vibe?
Well, Jeff, things have definitely started to pick up here inside the Gallagher Club at Toyota Stadium. Me personally, I'm keeping an eye out for any buffet that might appear. We'll see what develops on that front. The fans have been filing in, all of them here to watch the draw, one of the crucial events leading up to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. We will find out today how the 42 countries that have already qualified for the tournament will be divided up into 12 groups. That is important because it will determine the early matchups. This watch party is free. Everyone is welcome. 3,000 people have already registered to be here. That is a lot of fans. The Gallagher Club will be filling up, and they have made arrangements for the overflow to another club here at the Toyota Stadium, also a restaurant here, and seats will be available out in the stadium itself. For those who don't mind the chill, they can watch the draw on one of the big video boards here. This watch party set to continue until 1 p.m. this afternoon, and by that time, many questions will be answered about how the 2026 World Cup will be shaping up. Reporting live in Frisco, Dan Godwin, Fox 4 News.
All right, Dan, thanks for the update. Gina Miller joining us again. Thanks for sticking around with us. Okay, so Toyota Stadium, where Dan just was, going to be one of 6 base camps in our area for visiting teams. What exactly does that mean? I think when viewers who aren't as soccer verse hear that, they may not know what base camp means. So can you just explain it in layman terms for us?
The base camp is basically the home away from home for a visiting national team during World Cup play. Okay. So they need a base, a home location, if you will, just to set up shop, to train on off days, to lift weights, to do media, to eat, to really team bond, go to a movie or play cards or whatever thing is specific to that particular nation. So it's a really important thing for that visiting national team to have a place that's comfortable to them. And Toyota Stadium has a beautiful natural grass pitch. It's in close proximity to major luxury 5-star hotels, which is also a requirement from FIFA. It has everything. And Toyota Stadium and the operations team there is among the best in the business. And they have experience hosting teams like Real Madrid, incredible national teams who have won World Cups. Toyota Stadium had 8 of the top 10 FIFA World Cup ranked teams visit from a site survey perspective. So these conversations have been taking place for months leading up to the draw, will continue to take place until the draft, the selection process, if you will, for the base camps takes place in Q1, probably January or February of 2026. So it's a really important thing because it's their home away from home during the tournament.
As a reporter, I mean, this is a dream come true to get to cover this tournament, and it's also awesome that we get the International Broadcast Center here. I'm still trying to learn about that. What does that mean?
So the International Broadcast Center is huge. Dallas hosted the International Broadcast Center in 1994 at Fair Park. Now it's going to take place. The IBC will be located at K. Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center. This is opportunity and story. Broadcasters and journalists from around the world will descend upon North Texas to serve as their base camp, if you will, again, during the tournament. So they'll be broadcasting back to Australia, Suriname, the UK, France, Italy, all these countries around the world, Croatia, they'll be based right here in North Texas. And what's cool is they'll probably start setting up shop here in January, scouting locations, looking for stories to tell, looking for housing, food, transportation for their talent and staff to be here during the tournament. So really, I think we're going to start seeing the impact here very, very quickly. And what's cool is we're going to see North Texas showcased in a way I don't think we ever have, because they're going to be looking for color stories, they're going to be looking for personalities, and they're going to be looking for really cool things to showcase back to their home countries. Our Texas hospitality is going to be on high alert and on high display next year.
The whole world knows everything's bigger in Texas.
It is.
Or they will after this summer.
They certainly
I'm going to
will.
have to add like a new language so I can really mingle with all the media people.
There you go.
And I think that's what's so cool. We're going to see so many different languages here. You have to speak Uzbek. You have to speak Swahili, different dialects of African languages, obviously French, Spanish, Italian, all these, if Italy does in fact qualify, all these, Croatian though, all these different languages that are so beautiful and so unique. And I think that's one thing we're all really focused on, is making sure that the media, the visiting national teams, their fans, all have a wonderfully hospitable and culturally authentic experience when they come visit North Texas.
All right, it's exciting. Gina, thanks.
Yeah, so knowledgeable. Thanks for joining us this morning. All right, the World Cup, of course, going to be a dream come true for athletes around the world, but it's also serving as inspiration for young soccer players.
That's right. Fox 4's Vanya Castillo talked with members of a unique school here in North Texas centered around the sport.
I want to be one of the greatest ever.
When you think of what a school sounds like, you might imagine lockers being slammed or a school bell ringing.
Go!
But at Forms Academy, those sounds are replaced by whistles, the dribbling of a soccer ball, and the dreams of making it as a professional soccer player.
What is this?
Yeah, so Forms Academy is a soccer-centric development academy for players who want to spend most of their day outside of a traditional school setting, getting their education, but also developing soccer skills, soccer technique.
Students spend 4 hours in the classroom and 4 hours on the pitch working on skills they need to make it pro.
It's not really like that much, to be honest. It's very flexible. And
really?
Also, it's just what we like doing. You know, we like training, and school's actually kind of fun.
Balancing their dreams for greatness and homework can be even more challenging in a state that bleeds football.
I hate to break it to you guys, but Texas is kind of an American football state. What happened? How'd you guys end up in soccer?
I was trying out for different sports, but I never liked football because of the tackling, because I was way too young.
I chose soccer because it's more intense and you have better IQ and it's faster pace.
But the United States, being one of the host countries for the World Cup, is changing things.
And what does the World Cup being in Dallas do for your kids?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool when the kids can bring something that can be up close and personal that in the past had seemed so far off. They can go to games and they can look down and you say, okay, my dream of playing as a professional, that's tangible now. I can touch it.
What is it like for you guys to know that the World Cup is happening here in Dallas? Does that make your dream feel more in reach?
Yes, and it's actually, I love the World Cup so much. I love it. All the teams that play, it's definitely an inspiration for me because one day I want to play in the World Cup.
I feel like it's a really good experience because maybe I could go to some of the games and watch the professional talents and try to learn from them.
But for now, these kids are happy to wait and learn from the greats until it's their turn.
By showing hands, how many of you think you're going to make it professionally?
Vanya Castillo, Fox 4 News.
All right, more to come on The Kick. Coming up next, we are going to test our World Cup knowledge, if we have some, with a shootout quiz. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back to The Kick. Live look at the red carpet at the Kennedy Center, and there is President Trump doing some interviews as we are just less than 20 minutes down from the start of the final World Cup draw reveal here on Fox 4.
A lot of political figures, a lot of stars in our nation's capital today, but we are the stars of this show, Jeff, and we're
about to be.
Want to put our World Cup knowledge to the test. We have our scoreboard right here. We're doing a little trivia. Are you ready for a game of World Cup shootout?
I feel good about this. I've got the green suit. I've got the green numbers. I think I will have more correct answers than you do. But I love you.
Listen, I love you too, and I don't doubt it. So we have 5 questions, just like the 5 penalty kicks there are in soccer. And for the sake of time, my friend, we will end this either through mathematical elimination or a tie.
We can't handle
the best option.
No more ties.
We're just
the Cowboys have
no
one.
sudden death.
Yeah, no sudden death.
All right, question number 1. Let's see. Oh, Jeff wants me to read this one, of course. Who is the World Cup's all-time record goal scorer? We have Ronaldo, Sandor Kocic, Lionel Messi, Miroslav Klose.
You crush those.
Thank you. That's.
I'll go with Klose.
I'm going with Ronaldo. I feel like that is the correct answer. Oh! The sports guy got the first one right.
I did not research. Did you research?
No, we didn't research.
Okay.
Jeff,
neither
you're
of us cheated.
Sports anchor.
But I like the scoreboard. All right, question 2.
I host a lifestyle show. All right,
so you know everything. Who is the first World Cup mascot?
This is more my speed.
Was it World Cup Willie? Was it Striker, the World Cup pup?
Like that.
Maple the moose or Clutch the bald eagle?
So here's the thing. It's not going to be Maple, right?
Okay.
Like, where was the first World Cup? In Europe, surely.
Right.
Back when?
Not
20s,
in Canada.
30s?
Maybe if it was in
Canada.
Canada.
Not in Canada, not in the U.S., so it's not going to be the bald eagle. I don't think they're saying World Cup pup back in the day. So I'm going to have to go with World Cup Willie, and I'm locking it in.
I'll go with Striker.
Okay, let's see.
The pup.
Ooh, 1-1, my friend.
All right.
Don't ask me about players, ask me about World Cup pups. There we go. Question number 3.
You have your own sound effect? That's not fair.
That's what happens around here when you're awake before 11 a.m., Jeff. That's right. What award is given to the most outstanding player at each World Cup? You should know this. Is it the Golden Boot?
Okay, that's pressure.
The Golden Pigeon? What is that word? Have you heard of that?
It can't be that.
The Golden Pitch. It's a typo. I will read anything. Ron Burgundy.
It's not a pigeon, okay?
The Golden Ball or the Golden Glove. Not the Golden Glove, right?
I'm going Golden Ball.
You're going Golden Ball? I'll go on Golden Boot. Boot, like the cleat.
Oh, there we go.
Nice, Jeff. Okay, this is competitive.
So Golden Boot is actually the top goal scorer.
Oh, what was that question for? The best player?
Best player.
MVP?
Best player.
Okay.
Golden Boot is a thing. Question 4. How many, this is ridiculous, how many hot dogs were consumed during the 2010 World Cup, which was in South Africa?
Did you put
Do you
that in
remember
earlier?
the vuvuzelas from that World Cup?
Yes,
that was like the big
actually,
thing.
wait. You just unlocked a memory I had. Did you put in that it was from South Africa? Because that was not in there earlier, and I was like, this is so dependent on what part of the country.
And I wanted to help you out
in.
because, like, with the vuvuzela situation, like, how many hot dogs can you eat when you have to do the vuvuzela?
Oh my gosh. Jeff, that's so true. Is it 50,000, 100,000, 270,000, or nearly 400,000 hot dogs?
I'll go 100. I think I'm wrong.
In South Africa, I'm going 270,000. I'm going big, but not too big.
Oh!
390?
That's the first one neither of us
The big
got.
horn in the one hand and the hot dog in the other.
Yeah,
that's a whole lot of hot
dogs.
Okay, 2-1. It all comes down to this. Is it a tie, or does Jeff take it all?
All right, last one. The World Cup trophy was stolen while on display in the 1960s. A dog later found it under a bush. Paige, what was the dog's name?
This is what it comes down to.
Pickles, Pooch, Buddy, or Raider?
I have some bragging rights on the line here, and this is what it comes down to. Okay, a dog found a trophy in a bush. I'm going Buddy.
I'll go Pooch, kind of like
What year was this,
Pochettino,
60s?
Mauricio Pochettino. Pooch.
Okay, it's a stretch. It's a reach.
Oh, man.
Pickles. I had a college professor whose dog's name was Pickles.
Good game.
That was
Good game.
Good sportsmanship. All right, Jeff, you pulled it away, but you are a sports anchor, so Who's surprised?
I have to prove my worth around here.
That's right. That's right. Well, maybe you'll get a sound. What is that sound effect?
Yeah, I'd
One
like
of these
that.
days.
We're
All
gonna
right.
put that on free for all.
Oh, there you go,
Come
Jeff.
on.
Hey, there is
That's
no
not a winner sound effect.
Ding, ding, ding. There's no shortage of bars and pubs where soccer fans can watch the draw play out over a pint or two.
Let's see us some Stephen Dial. He is hanging out at Happiest Hour. Microphone, but no beer in hand, Stephen. What's going on?
I mean, I'm trying to stay employed, Jeff. Come on now. I've been offered one though. Yeah, we are here at Happiest Hour, a well-known location. Happens, guys. What are we doing?
How lucky is Stephen Dial at Happiest Hour in Uptown Dallas? All right, Stephen Dial, thanks for the report. We have so much more to come on The Kick just after a short break.
But first, we were talking about him before, FC Dallas president, World Cup committee chairman Dan Hunt. He's in D.C. today, but spoke before about a really cool exhibit for World Cup fans up at the Soccer Hall of Fame in Frisco.
In 1994, the U.S. hosted its first World Cup, and really that is what kicked off the modern Major League Soccer today, which FC Dallas is a member of. It was so exciting to welcome the world to the United States. We had 8 venues that hosted matches during that time, and it was really a novelty back in 1994. They say that less than 15% of the population was aware that the World Cup was coming to the United States during that time. Today, for World Cup 2026, they say that number is 99.9% of the population knows that the World Cup is coming to North America. This is a really fun cabinet. My favorite thing in here is the Peter Max artwork, which was that kind of idyllic poster that was created. And they do this for each World Cup, but Peter Max was one of the great American artists, and he created this imagery. And for me, it's one of the greatest posters of all the World Cups that have come in the past. You also have coin sets that would come with World Cups. I can remember my parents collecting through the different World Cup cycles the gold and silver coins, and also swapping pins and other collectibles is such a major part. We also in this cabinet celebrate the tickets of the '94 World Cup. As a child, my dad and I had a ticket collection together, and the '94 World Cup tickets were really a centerpiece of that entire collection.
My name is Dirk Nowitzki, and this is Dallas. Dallas to me is home. I've been here now for 25 years. I came here when I was 20 years old. I only lived in Germany and was positively surprised what I found when I got here. The people were so great and nice to me and welcoming, so I think we'll be a great host city. Dallas is a huge sports town. You know, it's just one example when we delivered something that the city has never had, and that's a basketball championship. We had a parade with over 200,000 people on the streets. It really just solidified me even more into this community, and that's how passionate these fans are about their sports. So I grew up in Germany, and obviously you cannot grow up in Germany without football. I'll always remember when we won the World Cup in 1990 in Italy. So that was actually one of my greatest sports memories as a fan growing up, and just seeing how it united people. I'm super excited for the World Cup to come here. The stadium is incredible. I'm looking forward to, hopefully, a great World Cup. And we've hosted tons and tons of sporting events, but the World Cup is on a different level. It's the biggest sport event in the world. So we're excited to show people from all over the world the city, and it'll be super fun. This is my city. This is my home. This is Dallas.
Paige, you cannot have a better sports ambassador in the city than the great Dirk Nowitzki, who, as you heard, he's from Germany.
Yep.
Big fan of their great soccer team. And in 2014, they got to celebrate winning the Men's World Cup. So we'll see how they can do here. And a lot of big watch parties going on right now. We showed you a little bit from Kansas City, and there's some big ones around here.
Yeah, we want to get over to Peyton May, who is at Billy Bob's Texas, the Stockyards in Fort Worth. Hey, Peyton.
Hey, Paige, we're having such a fun time now, and I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of action going on behind me here. I mean, we have the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders taking pictures with fans. There are tons of people taking pictures with the replica of the trophy, which I have to say is about 6 feet tall, which is so cool. And then, of course, live performances, tons of merch, and a whole show of things here. I mean, we have mascots that are coming in. It is just such an awesome place to be, to just really ring in what a cool time for DFW. I talked to some fans here who said that they were not expecting how busy this would be. They were like, we had no idea there were so many soccer fans here, so many people in their Team USA jerseys. We've seen a lot of people also wearing Team Mexico. I even met someone from Team Italy. So we have just such a fun time here. It's really the place to kick off such a great time. I gotta say though, these people are loud. They are getting ready. They are rowdy. They want to hear all of the teams in the certain groups. So, you know, Paige and Jeff, it's really the place to be. I'm a little biased because I'm having fun here, but it's so great.
Yeah, Peyton May's like Team Italy, Team USA.
Yep.
One or the other. All right, folks, we are just minutes away from the start of the draw. Stick with us.
We'll be right
Much
back.
more.
8 years ago, U.S. won this joint bid. This is a huge moment.
It is.
To find out.
This was a big moment for us, too.
It was.
This
was fun.
All right, coming up next on Fox Local, World Cup coverage continues with The Post with Lauren Prisbel. Thanks for joining us.
See ya.
Welcome to The Post. It is Friday, December 5th. I'm Lauren Prisbel, joined by Megan Boyd. This morning, what a day it is around here. Woo!
Yes, we are.
Soccer, soccer, soccer.
That's exactly right.
Yes, we are really excited. They have kicked off the coverage of the FIFA World Cup draw. We're just waiting. I think there's just so much celebration, so much pride right now. We have a lot of celebrities, too, that are there. This is going to be drawn out. This isn't going to be like a quick, let's draw, let's do them, let's get out. No,
Right.
This is going to be kind of drawn out. So we're basically watching along, and we'll see what takes place, and we'll let you know as soon as a country is selected. There's all these different pots and different ways it's going to go, and FIFA's got it figured out, thank goodness, because I don't know too much about soccer, but we've got a list of experts that are going to come in that are going to help us out, and we're going to check in with some of the watch parties. I mean, there is so much going on today.
Right. And there's been so much anticipation leading up to this, and this is really going to be the first time that we get a taste of what we're actually going to see when the World Cup arrives next year. And my husband's a big soccer fan. I was talking to him about this, and, he's like, someone could say this is just a bracket, right? But he's like, you could really win or die depending on who you end up in a group with, because these are the teams you're going to play. So there is a lot riding on this for diehard soccer fans. But like you said, it's not going to be right at 11. I know we've been advertising that that's the time all of this starts, but they've got a whole slew of events planned before they even draw the first team.
Let's take a look at some of these watch parties, because that is where the action is. So this is live. Woo! It is loud there. They are rocking. This is at Billy Bob's in Texas, the world's largest honky-tonk, the perfect place FIFA decided to host this huge watch party in our area. Ooh, let's listen in.
The FIFA World Cup 2026 final draw. Please put your hands together for the legendary Maestro Andrea Bocelli.
All right, as we mentioned, there are going to be several different performers going into this. This is just one big show that they're putting on. Again, the big World Cup, it is not until this summer. It'll be June 11th through July 19th. We got 48 teams that are going to be playing, the most ever, because it was only 24 last go round. So now they've upped it to 28. So a lot of people took the day off from work. They've taken the day off from school. Some of them, as we've seen at Billy Bob's. But what a fun place to do this, like for our local watch party.
Exactly. Such a fun place. And it's, 11 in the morning, and that place is packed. Like you said, it is loud. People are having fun. I think someone has said that they are trying to get today to be a day where you work from the sports bar to see all of this information come in. Don't work from home. Work from a sports bar, perhaps like the Nodding Donkey, where we're taking a live look now.
Yeah, this is in Uptown Dallas in the State Island area. And Uptown Dallas Inc., they basically put out this news release, and they're like, we are calling for a district-wide work from sports bar day, basically saying, come on out to the sports bars in that area, swap the office for your team spirit during this whole draw. So there are so many restaurants that are on board, Blackfriars, Staten Island, The Loon, Moxie's, Rebel and Rose, Upside, West Village, as well as the Nodding Donkey. And these are different places that aren't only, hosting this right now. These are going to be the places where people are going to go to watch a lot of these games, because they are going to be really focused on this World Cup.
Right. So many people are going to be spending time watching these games. And like we said, today, all of this information comes in. tomorrow as well, we will learn exactly who's going to be here playing in the DFW area.
Yeah, and I heard some of our experts are saying it's very unlikely that the U.S. will play in North Texas. Probably more likely that they would be playing in the California area. So we'll see. We'll see which countries are coming here, and it'd be kind of neat to kind of adopt some of these countries that are coming here, figure out who's coming here, who's playing, and who you want to follow along. So we'll be learning all that in the next few days. We do have Fox 4's Dion Anglin. She is at Billy Bob's. I know it's so loud there. Can you hear us, Dion? What a party.
To watch these games.
Hey,
so I've talked
some party.
State,
let me tell you,
I've talked
the draw celebration here in Fort Worth is off and two-stepping. This is Billy Bob's Texas, as you know, and they do everything in an iconic way. There are thousands of people here that have filled this area, this ballroom and this stage area in just a short time. They're of course tuned in right now to what's happening in the nation's capital. Everybody's watching that, but I'm telling you, the excitement began pretty earnestly and it just started building, and it was just a fascinating thing to see the excitement, just a lead up to what we can expect, I guess, over the next months ahead as we get closer to FIFA World Cup 26. But I can barely hear you, but the excitement here is just tremendous.
Yeah.
I know you're seeing a lot of celebrations around the area, the watch parties, but this one is pretty big and it is iconic here at Billy Bob's, Texas.
So much history there at Billy Bob's, and to now have all these people gathering in that one spot. We saw behind Dion, they all have the cups, they have the scarves, they've got the merchandise too. They are decked out and they are ready for this.
Oh, definitely. There are people here that are repping their teams. Let me see. We've heard from fans, and we've heard the cheering from those who are excited about Argentina. We've heard those who are excited and cheering for the chances of Colombia. Of course, the U.S. But it is just packed in here right now, and all the attention is just on the stage area. We've got people also milling about. It's just a fun and spirit-filled atmosphere. Everybody's ready for this. I spoke to the mayor. Mayor Maddie Parker was one of the special guests. She took the stage, but before that, I had a chance to have a few words with her. She basically says in a nutshell, we're ready. We're ready and excited. Of course, the planning continues and goes on, but everybody is all hands on deck and just ready for this, the world's largest sporting event right here in our area.
Oh, love it. Yeah, thank you, Dion. Interesting, Fort Worth getting a little piece of this. And even though we've got these games are going to be played at AT&T Stadium, which they're going to be calling Dallas Stadium. In Arlington, we've got Frisco, where it looks like they might be doing, one of the clubs could be stationed at. We've got all the broadcasters that are going to be in the heart of Dallas. This really is going to encompass our whole area. And when you think about, they say 6 million people travel for the World Cup. This is the thing that some people will plan year after, every World Cup to travel to.
And you just think about all the logistics that go into planning for that many people coming.
Yeah.
So North Texas is going to host 3 different groups, could be having games here. So we'll see all those letters and stuff coming into play later. Groups F, L, and J are going to play at Dallas Stadium. So some letters to keep your ear out for later. But as those teams are playing here, people from those countries, I bet, are planning trips to North Texas to see their team play.
And I think they're expecting it to be easy to get around. And it's not so easy to get around in North Texas, especially if you're coming from a city or a country where they rely heavily on public transportation. I just think some of these cities overseas, they've got a public transportation where you hop on one place and you can hop off another, and you can do it real easy. Here we tend to drive a lot and we tend to park our cars, and so it'll be interesting to see when these people are coming from other countries, and also how it is in some of these other different host cities. I mean, you're looking at New York, New Jersey, you're looking at Vancouver, Seattle, Boston. Austin, San Francisco, these are places that have great public transportation where they use public transportation a lot. Here in North Texas, we don't use it as much. So I'm interested to see how we're going to handle it, how the airlines are going to handle it. They are saying just for this event that's going on in D.C. that the buses, like getting on the buses and the security was a nightmare.
Yeah.
So we have some reporter that were there that was saying that it was a mess just to get through all that. So I'll be interested if they're learning anything.
Time, hopefully,
learning anything from this, and if they'll be able to sort that out. We do have some sound from the Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy and Kobe Jones as well.
As we look to these games, right, we're going to have 6 million people that are going to come into the United States to watch these games. So I've talked with state, I've talked with Homeland, we've partnered together. The president has given this directive. If you're watching around the world, we're going to make travel seamless for you as you come into the country. We're going to make it as easy as possible so you can come in and enjoy the great World Cup event that's going to go off.
Well, in this World Cup, we have double the amount of teams as in 1994. There are going to be 48 teams spread across 3 different countries, where we have the opportunity to bring all of these countries together. But between Mexico, Canada, and the United States, we are going to be celebrating the World Cup here with 48 different teams. This is the opportunity to bring cultures together. This is going to be a special moment, in my humble opinion, where everyone's going to be coming together to celebrate the beautiful game.
And you want them to be able to get to where they need to go. So we do know Love Field, DFW Airport, officials from those airports have been planning for months. They've been working with Dart. They've been working together just to try to make all of this as seamless as possible. I thought it was interesting. Dart said that they're basically just going to plan like it's rush hour for like 39 days. That's crazy.
Yes.
Like if you really put that into perspective, 39 days of just nonstop people.
And thinking about when you're leaving a Cowboys game or when we have Texas OU and these different huge events, what that's like for 39 days in a row. So it's a lot for them to manage and plan for. I know they're talking about just increasing the amount of runs that the Dart is going on, more flights, just more opportunities for people to make their transportation plans. But
you're right. You think I think you mentioned these other games that we've had, these big games, like the Super Bowl at AT&T Stadium. I mean, that was kind of a nightmare, and that's where all this is going to be taking place, where all these matches are going to be taking place. And it's not going to be called AT&T Stadium. They announced that it's going to be called Dallas Stadium, which FIFA has some rules. They do this everywhere. Basically, they have to get rid of all of the signage of whatever the place is like. So they're like going to be covering up where it says AT&T Stadium.
And it was kind of interesting what they said about it, that they don't like that kind of marketing, that they think it's like kind of slimy, that you can just slap your name on something and capitalize off of FIFA just because your name's on the building. And so they're removing that completely and have chosen to call it Dallas Stadium, of course, in Arlington.
Yeah, and then the FC Dallas in Frisco, they're going to call that Frisco Stadium. So we'll have a Frisco Stadium and a Dallas Stadium. So I think we'll figure it out as we go along. But some people in Arlington apparently not taking too kindly to the idea that it's going to be
as they do.
Dallas Stadium. Yes. So when it was announced that North Texas would be hosting the World Cup, Arlington's Mayor Jim Ross, he shared his thoughts about it being called the Dallas World Cup. Let's listen.
You know, let me just say this. The better Dallas reputation is, the better it affects Arlington. The better Fort Worth is, the better we do. The better Frisco is, the better we do. The better Arlington does, the better they do. Listen, Dallas is the biggest city in North Texas. It makes logical sense to call it the Dallas World Cup. It doesn't faze me. It doesn't bother me. I don't care. I know they're being played here, but we have teams that are playing in Frisco. We have teams that are playing in Fort Worth. We have teams that are playing in Dallas and teams that are playing in Arlington. And when those games go on, we all do better. So I'm happy that Eric Johnson City, Dallas is named here, and they're all coming here and they're playing in Arlington, but they're staying and practicing and going. They're staying all over North Texas, so we're all going to get the benefit of it, and we're good with that.
I'm going to translate that for you. Basically, it means you can call the stadium whatever you want to call it as long as you're bringing your money to Arlington.
Yeah, very political answer.
Yes. I like that he puts he makes it sound very nice. You know,
Yes.
we're all going to benefit. And I think, truly, I think the whole area will to be put in this spotlight, this world spotlight. I mean, how many people in other countries have heard of Frisco? Probably not many of them. So, so it'll be interesting to see. Maddie Parker joked about the change as well. Yeah. So let's listen to her.
First of all, we're very fortunate because all of North Texas, every municipality, every jurisdiction, we're all planning carefully and working together. We're going to host 9 games in North Texas, the most of any city in North America, which is incredibly exciting. I joke with Jim Ross, but I'm a little serious. The only thing I'm worried about is him chaining himself to the front of Cowboy Stadium when it has to say Dallas Stadium on top.
So yes, a little poking, but in this, I think in the slew of it, she basically says we're all working together. We have to, with this many people, this much, you know, this many cameras, these many people all watching our area.
Right.
You just don't want to see anything major. A major failure.
And there's going to be so many people that we have to spread them out. They're going to be in Fort Worth and Dallas and in Irving and everywhere else in between, because there's just too many people coming to one spot. They can't all stay right outside of AT&T Stadium. No, well, that would be a big mess. Yeah, so we're still waiting to see if they're going to who they're going to be putting in these top spots. Again, they are expected to do this as we move on. They are having some celebrations right now. We will continue to update that. Also coming up on the post, one of the top soccer equipment companies in the U.S. is here in North Texas. We are going to hear from the brother and sister leading the team at Soccer Innovations. That's coming up next on the Post.
stitched. Nothing wrong with machine stitching, except that water can seep through the seam. Water penetration will allow for the ball to become heavier. It's not going to be consistent flight path, different weight. It's going to have a different feel to it when you're dribbling it. Thermo-bonded soccer balls, that means it's pressed together by heat. No open seams where water can penetrate the soccer ball.
Soccer Innovations, a North Texas family-owned company, helps soccer lovers take their training to the next level with specialized equipment and gear. And on social media, they share the joys and sometimes the frustration when it comes to the soccer world. Joining us on the post right now, I've got brother and sister duo, Jeremy Elder and Christine Ellis. Thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate it. Are you excited? This is like soccer, soccer, soccer. All your world.
I'm so excited for this. It's just, yeah, it's great for our country, for the sport, for our company. We're just super excited.
Yeah. Jeremy, your dad was a soccer player. He founded the company. He was a coach, clearly an inventor as well. And that seems like how he started the company. He saw some problems and he was like, oh, well, I can fix that.
That's exactly how it happened. It was either a human being standing in a wall to take the hits, or a giant, you had to carry these giant metal mannequins out. So he had the idea of creating collapsible mannequins that can just fit in any car. And that's how it all started.
And you guys have taken problems in the soccer training world and you've made portable goals, you've got mobile goals, you've got training items. I saw a ball launcher that was like crazy that people were using. You've changed soccer balls and made them, something that people want that really will last. Christine, it's great to see you on social media as well. It's not just about the products, it's about the love for the game too, right?
You are good. You are really good. 1,000%. And I think that's one of the things that separates us is we're not a huge corporation. We're a family that literally, we love the game. Sometimes we make products not just because it's going to make the most money, but because we believe in it as coaches, as players. We see the small details, and if it can impact the sport or the game, we're in.
Why
we just
not?
Love it.
Okay, Jeremy, to have the World Cup coming to literally your backyard, when you found out that we were going to be hosting all these matches, what went through your mind as a soccer business owner?
Super exciting. It's kind of I'd like to say it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. For us, I'm fortunate enough to have been old enough to go to the '94 World Cup when it was here. Oh. But I was 7, 8 years old. I wasn't able to soak it all in. I didn't understand the gravity of how big this tournament is, and now I'm gonna get to experience it. And when I would say my prime at 38 years old, right. I'll soak it all in, and I'm really excited. The buzz around the town is really fun to experience and to see. We're all here on Fox 4. I mean, this would have never been an experience we could have had if the World Cup wasn't coming here to Dallas and to the United States.
And we are a soccer. Whether you have a kid in soccer or not, or whether we always say, oh, it's a football town, or it's a soccer town. We have the Soccer Hall of Fame here.
Yes.
Most little kids will play soccer at some point in their life if you grow up in North Texas, I feel like, because even if they're little tiny and, they'll just all run around the ball and chase the ball together. But I think what's interesting, too, is you not only sell the products or try to show your products off on social media, but you play the soccer mom card, too, really, and you do it really well. And that it can be hard. It can be competitive, especially in our area, right? And you think it's going to get more competitive?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes. I think it is. The youth soccer North Texas is like a hotbed for whatever reason for soccer, and it's so fun to be a part of, but there is a lot of craziness, and I think that's in all youth sports, but definitely in soccer. So that is a part of it.
Yeah, you guys I see the kids get involved, everybody gets involved. You coach as well. What do you think this means? And you're talking about when you were a kid. I remember back when, and that's what a lot of these kids are going to take this moment and remember when it was here in North Texas.
I'm so excited, especially for both of my sons, because I just feel like it's going to, and their teams, any youth soccer player in America, being in this seeing this for their own eyes, being a part of this environment is going to just transcend the game and their love of the game. And I'm so excited.
I can tell you're a soccer coach. Can you tell she's a soccer coach? I tell you. You guys love the underdogs too. You always cheer for the underdogs.
100%.
And I saw small but big mighty Uruguay, a tiny South American nation, perhaps the biggest success story in World Cup history. They only have 1.5 million people, but in 1930, they not only hosted, but won the World Cup, and then 20 years later did it again. This go round, we have 4 teams who have never been in the World Cup that are going to be in the World Cup. When you think about just the power of that, what goes through your mind?
It's got to be like a Cinderella story, especially for those 4 teams that never been to a World Cup. It's probably an experience we could only a dream of, for me personally, or as any soccer player, let alone to be the first time your country goes to a World Cup. I mean, and in the United States, where it's just we're so wide, so you can go to New York, to California, to here in Texas, and you get to see all of the whole United States. It's just a dream come true, I'm sure, for those 4. And it's incredible how a country of 1.5 million people can compete at such a high level. That just shows how dedicated that country is to the game of soccer. Probably from the second they can walk, they're probably dribbling soccer balls. Whereas here in America, we're we got our hands in a lot of sports.
Is that why soccer, you think, is just around the world beloved? Because all it takes really is just a soccer ball?
I think it's built in their culture of their country's dynamics, of their family dynamics. And I think you can create it within your own home, which is something I'm really passionate about. You can create that culture that other countries have by just they just have soccer balls everywhere. It's on the street.
It's a history. It's a family generational thing,
passion.
you think. It's a passion. I'm curious. I was listening to soccer star Abby Wambach the other day, and she said that parents should not go to kids' practices.
Yes.
Athletic practices.
You're touching a soft spot there.
No. Well, I thought to myself, and now every time I'm at a practice, any sports practice with my kids, I'm like, oh, Abby Wambach says I shouldn't be here. Like, what is behind that? What do you?
I think deep rooted behind that is because there are parents out there that get too involved too much, and they don't let their kid enjoy their journey in the game, and they like to stick their hands in it, and they involve themselves, and they make it too pressure filled, and it takes away the fun. And a sport is meant to be fun. It's competitive and fun. And so I think that is what it's about. I think it's specifically for those parents that are barking at the sidelines and making their kids are constantly turning and look at the parents because they're more worried about the parents than what is going on in the actual practice field. So I understand that.
Okay, so it sounds like we're going to have, these games here. It also sounds like we're going to have, like, some of the teams may have, like, their home club areas where they can practice. What do you guys do as a company? Do you go in and say, here's some soccer balls, here's this? What do you do?
Well, I will say, remember, when was the last time there was I don't know if we can even say the country, but there was some countries that came in for some kind of preliminary friendlies, and they needed equipment to train for, and it was at like a secret location, and so we dropped off some of our equipment to have them train with it. Wow. And so I'm hoping that some other countries might want to do that, and maybe we get some,
Yeah, typically we'll go out and bring out a bunch of product, and then in exchange, we're able to go out and take some photos and meet the team and things like that. So it's actually a great experience, and I've got to be a part of many of those, and I've got to meet many really good, famous soccer players that I wouldn't have had that opportunity should I have not been in the soccer business, let alone here in Dallas in this mecca of soccer. Powerhouse here, that teams come here to like Jerry Jones' Stadium because they want to play with big crowds and whatnot. And all the big teams come here. So we're just lucky and fortunate to be here in Dallas and just to be part of soccer when it's such a great growing sport here in our country. We're excited about it. I know you're excited about it.
You guys are going to take us along on whatever comes your way, right?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Social media, I got my little.
You got
stick
it.
in
You
here.
got it. My last question I'm going to give to
Yes.
you. What do you hope for the future of soccer?
I hope that we can win a World Cup one day. That's what I hope. And I hope that it's the most popular sport in America one day.
I second that.
Dream big.
Go team. Jeremy, Christine, Soccer Innovations. Tell people where they can find you. Where's
SoccerInnovations.com.
Okay.
Or we also have social media, Instagram. It's, again, just Soccer Innovations. And
Look us up. You'll enjoy the content.
Yeah, love it, love it. Soccer Innovations, thank you so much. Appreciate you guys.
Thank
you, Lauren. Appreciate it.
All right, go World Cup. Hopefully we'll have some announcements on some teams and where they're playing soon. Coming up on the Post, we're going to be talking to one of the largest youth soccer clubs in our area, all about the World Cup coming up. Welcome back to the Post. We are taking you live at Billy Bob's, Texas in Fort Worth. This is the largest watch party as the FIFA World Cup drawing gets underway. I'm Lauren Prismal, joined by Megan Boyd. And Megan, you were looking down at the rundown, and it looks like we've got a couple more things before they actually start drawing.
Yes, I actually just looked at the clock. They are ahead of schedule, dare I say.
Okay.
So at 11:35, the host nations were taking the stage, and they were presenting a peace prize, which I think, if you could see in the background there in Billy Bob's, that's happening now.
Okay.
So just a few minutes ahead of schedule. 11:45 is when the draw proceedings are supposed to start. So
Okay.
about 10 minutes away.
So stand by to stand by, as they always say,
Right.
right? Yeah. So a lot of celebration going on. A lot of this will play out. Joining us this morning, we want to bring in one of the president of one of the largest youth soccer clubs in our area, the Dallas Texans, club president Paul Stewart. Thank you for coming in to watch this soccer world unplay in front of you, and to know that North Texas has a hand in it. I mean, how does that feel?
It creates a lot of very interesting opportunities for the kids to see world-class soccer teams from around the world. So from that standpoint, it's a great opportunity for the kids in our area.
Do you think it increases the interest when this kind of thing is going on, not just happening on TV, but right down the street for these kids? Do you expect to see an increase in the number of kids that even want to play?
I can't imagine that it won't. I have the impression that basically every 5 and 6 year old kid starts out playing soccer at the YMCA with their friends, but that may not be the case. But maybe at the club level, we'll see an increased interest. Yes.
Yeah, I want to take us back because in 1993 is when the Dallas Texans Soccer Club started, and at that time there were 3 teams. 3. Now, what? More than 140 teams? Is that something like 140 is what I read on your website?
I can't keep track, but that could be right.
So when we talk about it growing over I mean, that's not too much of a period. It is continuing. You've got more than 2,000 players playing for your club. It starts from age 5 up to 19. And these aren't kids, in my mind, who are just kicking a soccer ball. These are, dare I say, elite level kids?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would say of the top teams of the Texans, virtually every kid goes to college on scholarship, on soccer.
Virtually every kid that's a Dallas Texan goes and plays in college.
Exactly, and that's one of the things that I'm proudest of, and why I've stayed involved. It's a real benefit to these kids, in addition to just the making sure that they have a great sports experience with the positive coaching.
So soccer's that big here?
Oh, soccer is huge, and I want to say, have to give a shout out to Lamar Hunt Sr. and his great family. He started the first professional soccer league in the United States, and one of the first teams was here in Dallas. That brought a bunch of foreign players to Dallas. They formed the first group of coaches for the club team, some of them still coaching today.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons that North Texas is one of the top youth soccer regions in the country.
I think a lot of people don't understand or don't know that history.
Wow, that's really interesting. We have soccer, it's growing. Do you think we'll ever be like Brazil, for example? Do you think we're ever going to have that level of passion, or do we already have that level of passion and I just don't know it?
Well, it's hard to say because we have so many other sports.
Right, okay.
So in a country like Brazil, they also have other sports, but soccer is by far the biggest. And that's true for a lot of parts of the world. Now, we're a bigger population, so we have the chance to have enough talent to compete at the world level. And I think we'll continue to get better and better and be one of the top teams in the world. We're still getting there.
Because U.S. has never won a World Cup.
Correct.
Right?
Right.
So, but you think we're getting closer?
Well, we came from having no soccer not too long ago, in the 60s and 70s, to now being competitive. We're typically in the top 20 teams in the world, but that's an ongoing process. As we develop, have young players coming up with better coaching, we'll get there.
For people who are watching and maybe just haven't had soccer in their life, they wouldn't consider themselves a soccer fan. With the World Cup coming and here in Dallas, what would you say to them to get them excited about this event?
I guess one part of the World Cup is it's a huge spectacle. You'll have people from all over the world coming, they're fans, they'll be singing and with their uniforms and so forth. So it's fun from an entertainment standpoint in addition to the competitive aspect. I hope the American team does well. That always makes it more interesting for Americans. But just to enjoy the spectacle, hopefully people go out to the games, even to be around the stadium if you don't have a ticket to the game is interesting to see the fans from different parts of the world.
You're so big into like development of soccer. I'm curious now that they've gone from 24 to 48 teams, and now we're like seeing the debut of like Cape Verde, for example, or Jordan playing in this World Cup. Is that a good sign? Or is that, or are they welcoming to me? I kind of look at it like football. Sorry, but I look at it like, okay, now we've got all these bowls, and every team can get into a bowl. Are we going to turn the World Cup into that, where every team can get into the World Cup? Are you worried about that at all, or no?
I don't know what to think about that, actually. I think the more involvement you have and the more opportunity you give to smaller countries to participate is probably a good thing.
Good for the love of soccer.
For the love of soccer, and part of you'll see sort of an undercurrent in the World Cup is bringing people together. They now have this peace award for the president that was started. There is that sort of cultural background to the World Cup of bringing people together, and so the more countries you include is probably a good thing.
Did you play soccer growing up?
No.
Your son did, right?
My son and daughter.
Which I think is so interesting that your son and daughter both were in it.
Yes.
And that's how you got involved as a parent.
Correct. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. When I was growing up, soccer was just getting started in Dallas. So I played the typical American sports: football, basketball, and baseball. But then for a variety of reasons, my son, he was good at a bunch of sports, but soccer stood out. And his team won a national championship. My daughter wanted to do everything her brother did, so she went into soccer as well. And her team won a national championship with the Texans. So it was a great experience for them. They had great coaching with the Texans and great teammates. So it was fun to watch that and be part of it.
I feel like I'm still hung up on the idea that virtually every kid that's coming out of the Texans is going on scholarship in soccer. What do you think is kind of the key or your philosophy within the program that creates such success?
Well, it really started with Hassan Nazari, who formed the club. I've been told he was like the Michael Jordan of soccer in Iran. Played for the Shah's team in Tehran, played in the World Cup, in the Olympics. But he's a great coach as well, and you can't just, being a good player doesn't necessarily make you a good coach, and I've talked with him a lot about that and what it takes to do that, because we try to pass that on to the younger coaches. But he's also a good businessman, and so he created a club, and it really was the first club. Before that, clubs were primarily a group of coaches with the same uniform, but coaching their own styles, doing things their own way. And he wanted to create a club sort of in the European style, where all the kids wear the same clothes when you travel together. The different teams play the same style, so that players can go from one team to another.
The club feel, if you will, the elite level, if you will. I see.
And so Hassan created that, and his coaching style helped create a lot of great players.
All right.
Amazing.
Dallas Texans, Paul Stewart, thank you so much for being with us. Appreciate it.
Happy to be here.
Go soccer. I think a lot of people are getting excited about this, especially with the draw taking place. So.
If I've got one more second, I want to give a shout out also to Nike. Been our sponsor for many years, and they were an early sponsor for youth soccer in the United States and helped develop a lot of the top clubs, and have been really instrumental for us, the Texans, but for many others around the country.
Good business for them.
Yeah.
Huh. That's kind of a win-win, though. And maybe we're going to see that other companies, too, stepping up with us being put into the world spotlight now, you think?
There's be a lot of opportunities for that, yes.
Yeah, interesting. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Happy to be here, Lauren.
All right, coming up here on The Post, we're going to be checking in with some of these watch parties. I think we're going to head to FC Dallas. That's coming up. welcome back to the Post. Thanks for being with us. We've got FIFA World Cup draw watch parties going on all across North Texas. There are two big ones. The first one's at Billy Bob's in Fort Worth. The second one is at FC Dallas. I saw there were 3,000 people signed up. To go to this event.
Just to watch this draw happen, and we are so close. They have to be moments away from, I think, beginning the actual draw process.
Okay, we're going to check in with Alex Boyer. He is at FC Dallas. Oh, you are decked out, ready to go, Alex. I love it.
Hey, ladies, you got to embrace it. You know, you can really feel the energy here inside of the FC Dallas headquarters. You know, they've got the shades. I got lucky to get a pair of these shades with the soccer ball on it. You know, everybody really just in the spirit for what is about to happen. I'm going to step out of the way so you can get a look at what it looks like here. Some 3,000 people, as you all were mentioning, signed up to be here today. And this watch party is happening here at what's called the Gallagher Club at Toyota Stadium. All the tables you may be able to see decorated with flags of the World Cup qualifiers, including the host cities, Canada, Mexico, and of course the United States. You know, this free watch party is so full that there are people in the overflow outside in those stadium seats looking at the video boards, taking it all in. You know, I had a chance to talk to a couple of fans about all of the excitement.
I think it's really cool. Not only are you here for the excitement, you're bringing your country in for the excitement. You're live streaming right now in South Korea.
Yes, I do. Like, they're very excited. Even though it's a very late night, they're all awake and they're waiting for the draw.
I swear. And what you're saying, we're chatting right now, you said it's what time over there?
1:13.
1:13
a.m. Saturday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell me what brought you out here today.
Huh?
What brought you out here today? Why do you want to be here?
I mean, I just moved to here in Frisco from New York City.
Okay.
So, and this is the stadium that will hold the World Cup like next year. And I heard that like there's a watch party, so I wanted to participate in here.
Very cool. What are you thinking of the vibe so far?
I mean, I didn't expect so many people come up here. Like, I was so surprised.
What do you think about soccer becoming more popular in the U.S. and kind of seeing the turnout like we're seeing?
I think it's great. I grew up in a Mexican household, so Mexican soccer was every Saturday and Sunday. So now seeing it that my kids can enjoy it here in the U.S., especially my son who's playing soccer, it's awesome. It's pretty amazing that it's actually becoming very, very popular.
It is indeed. Check that out. Fans started lining up hours before the doors opened. Really a testament to the excitement surrounding the World Cup. And again, of course, you have fans from all over. You saw I was talking with a guy who was live streaming with his family and friends back in South Korea in the overnight hours. Talked to a Mexico fan. Of course, there are fans from the U.S. all around the world. The energy really is something else here. We, of course, are going to be here throughout the day and bring you updates later on right here on Fox 4 News. Back to you all.
Thank you so much, Alex. Enjoy the party. It sounds like pretty soon they're going to start drawing some of these names, some of these teams. I was looking at on social media, and I looked at Facebook, FIFA World Cup alone, 66 million followers. Like, that kind of, to me, puts into perspective how many people love soccer
for sure
in this world.
It's incredible the amount of people, and like we've talked about throughout the show, how much of a cultural experience it is for people. His family is up at 1:30 in the morning in South Korea. It's pretty awesome.
I can't imagine like when the World Cup's actually here.
When the games are going on.
When the games are going on.
And it just hit me how lucky we are that we are going to be in the time zone when the games are happening. You know, they were in Qatar and different things, and my husband's up in the middle of the night to catch a soccer game, and it's all going to be in our time zone, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's going to be fun to watch, no doubt. She is so social. We are bringing in Maddie Marks, who's been scouring social media today. I'm guessing hashtag soccer, hashtag FIFA World Cup.
Oh, yes, all the hashtags.
These are the things trending today.
It's been crazy, and honestly, I stream on our TikTok a lot, and we've had one of the biggest days ever. So last I checked, we had over 16,000 people live watching. We had over 250,000 people in the past hour. So a lot of people have eyes on this. And the coolest part about social media is our viewers aren't just in Dallas. We had France, Mexico, Dominican Republic, Somalia, East Africa, Uganda, Paraguay, like everyone from across the country or across the world, is commenting.
Yeah.
So that was pretty awesome.
Does it seem like there's like one big, like I feel like people from Brazil, because Brazil has won so much. I feel like we always see like lots of Brazil flags, lots of Brazil comments.
The top 4 I saw were Brazil, Argentina, Portugal, and Mexico.
Okay,
so
that makes sense.
Not a lot of U.S., especially for us being in the U.S. It was pretty interesting. I think a ton of people like Messi and other huge soccer names that play for other countries. So I think even Americans are kind of rooting for.
Are these
some of the
fans
OGs.
chiming in online saying that they think their country's going to win? Or are they just excited for the draw? What kind of things are they saying?
A little bit of both. I mean, people are just trying to show support mainly with flag emojis, which was one of the biggest things I've learned. Many different flags today.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all the things. The Argentina and Brazil comments are more like, go Argentina, Brazil. The other ones are like, hey, I'm here in this chat from Uganda.
Yeah.
So trying to represent.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's interesting too is like my kid that plays soccer loves Messi, or you either love Messi or Ronaldo. Your team Messi, team Ronaldo. In fact, on the playground, they play, you're either on team Messi or you're team Ronaldo. You're one or the other. And they're not even the ones that are like playing for the US. I mean, so it is these national names that even kids here in the US recognize.
Right.
And that many people follow.
And that's what most of our comments are those 2 names. Which I learned a lot today, that Ronaldo is the most followed person on Instagram.
Period.
Period. Ever.
Like
the biggest
ever.
influencer.
Or like
the
ever?
most ever. But the most liked post ever was by Messi. So they go hand in hand. There is a pretty big difference.
The biggest social
Those
media.
2 are the biggest. And the third is Selena Gomez, but the drop off is huge. It's by like 100 million.
So like soccer kings are like kings of social media.
I gasped. I thought like my phone was glitching when I clicked on their accounts today, because I've seen them on my feed, but I don't follow them personally, and I did today because I was like.
Cristiano Ronaldo, his wife, also does a lot. I know she's got a reality show. She does a lot of social media too. I don't know about Messi as much, maybe because my kid's Ronaldo, Team Ronaldo. I don't know.
No, Cristiano, he has 668 million, which is an obnoxious amount. I looked up Portugal's population, and it's 10.7 million. Even the U.S.
He's played for lots of different countries, so I think that has something to do with it.
So, but even all those countries combined is not
even
668 million.
So who else? So it's Ronaldo and then Messi.
And then Messi. And then third we have Neymar from Brazil, and he's 231 million. These numbers are just insane.
Crazy.
I was shocked at all of this.
What kind of content do they post?
A lot of soccer content, and I started going down a rabbit hole of brand deals after this, because I was like, how expensive are they? Which I learned that Ronaldo was the first soccer player to ever earn $1 billion from soccer. And
from a deal, like from some sort of deal?
From just playing a sport.
From just playing
from just playing soccer. So that was crazy. And I didn't know that his dad was a huge Ronald Reagan fan, so that he was named after Ronald Reagan when he was an actor.
Oh,
isn't that so random?
No, I didn't know that.
I learned so much today.
Okay, and I'm assuming David Beckham, even though he's not a current soccer, I mean, he's not
number
currently playing
5.
soccer, but he's a
yes.
soccer dude.
And so 4 was Kylian Mbappe.
Oh.
So they all have
yes.
over 100 million. David Beckham's at 88 million.
Now, what do you think is going to happen now with the World Cup and all of this? Like, I think they're going to have even more followers, because I think even if you're not a soccer fan, you're going to get wrapped up in this whole soccer world, just the social
everything
media
you
side
can
of it.
get.
They're growing drastically too. Like, I read one article from about a month ago, and most of them had already gained millions of followers by the time that was updated today. So they are growing by the millions by the minute. So
especially
we'll
if
see
they're
after
giving
today.
any behind
I
the
wonder
scenes.
who the #1 U.S. player is. We're going to have to look that up.
Yeah,
like,
you're
figure out
right.
who,
I
like,
actually
we
did
need
not
someone
look
to,
that up.
like, pump up,
Step it
like,
up.
Cristiano
Come on.
Ronaldo, right? Like, we need to figure out who our #1 players that we could root for and follow.
Well, even
We'll work on
Messi's
that.
pretty involved in
Right, he's in the
soccer and stuff
MLS,
like
so
that.
he's now
they're
here.
They're just
but
taking over.
Yeah. That's
forever.
Okay, you've got a quiz for us. Our producer put this together in honor of the World Cup. This is all the countries participating this year. It is to test our geography knowledge, which I did not do very well in geography. So we are going to be shown an outline of a country. Oh gosh, and we have to see if we know what it is. Okay, producer Courtney, roll it. Let's see here.
Not going to be
Mexico.
Mexico.
Ding. Okay. Whew, we got one, guys.
New Zealand?
Try again.
Cuba?
God.
I'm just
I'm
naming
like,
random
my
ones.
list of countries.
These are the host ones?
Yeah, are these World Cup teams?
Oh, it's just participate. Well, that's so
Oh
big.
my
I have
gosh,
no
I
idea
have
what that
no
is. What is it?
Oh,
That's Japan?
man.
Yes.
Oh
it
my
is Japan.
gosh.
That makes sense.
Okay, what's the next one?
Australia?
No, that
Spain?
one's, that's
France.
France. Oh,
Oh.
no, it's not France. Spain. Down.
Cuba?
Ecuador. Ecuador? Brazil. Gosh, Spain?
Guys,
Okay.
you can't do this.
I can't do it. A new
A new country. Oh, I was like,
oh, I have those somewhere. 4. There's 4 of them. There's 4 new ones on my study.
I wrote
Is it
every
Jordan?
fun fact down.
Cuba, Curacao.
Curacao.
What were the 4? I don't even know where I put those on my notes.
I mean,
but
people
yes.
have seen us try to draw the outline of Texas, so.
That's true. That didn't go so well, did it?
Outlines of things are hard. I think.
Yeah, but Maddie, like you mentioned, I think we're going to be learning a lot about these countries. There's a lot of underdogs. There's a lot of different things that we're going to be able to learn.
United States is going to be in Group C.
United States Group C. So what does that
breaking
mean?
news. So they're not
We don't know.
playing.
I thought we were in Group D.
here yet.
These are developments.
A is Mexico.
B is Canada.
And we are C. Yeah. All right.
All right.
Okay.
Enjoy. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you Monday. It's Friday. See you Monday on the Post.
and you already have this energy level and excitement, it's truly going to be an amazing experience. And so today is just a kickoff, and now the anticipation of where the group's going to lie, but to be a part of it, see this building packed, fans walking up, it's a special day.
What do you think about seeing this sport really grow in the U.S.?
It's amazing. I was 16 years old the last time the World Cup was here. I'm 47 now. To be a part of it as a player, now as a coach, to see the growth and what this is going to do beyond the World Cup being here, I'm excited for it. My kids are a part of it. So I'm a fan, also a coach, but the energy is off the charts.
Yeah. Eric, what will happen next? We'll find out about the draw. We'll find out about the schedules tomorrow. Then what's going to happen for you all here?
I mean, look and see what the games, where they are here in Dallas, what groups here in Dallas. If I can find a ticket, I'd love to find a ticket. So it's just going to be, this is what the excitement's about, is who's going to be playing here in Dallas, and what big teams are we going to be rooting for, and they're going to be in our backyard. So that's what I'm paying close attention to.
And you'll have some teams that have been kind of scouting this out to see if they might end up practicing here, right?
Yeah, we'll have some teams, I think, that are going to be training here at FC Dallas facility. So hopefully I get some access to see that firsthand. But it's just going to be a truly amazing experience for Frisco and the FC Dallas Soccer Club, the young players playing the game who are coming up through the ranks, the teenagers. Just to have this experience for them is amazing.
Sure, and I know still a lot of unanswered questions, but I know fans are going to want to know, you think they'll be able to watch the practices once those teams start practicing here, or will that be under wraps?
I don't know. My guess is it's going to be put under close wraps given the variables and the margins of victory on the world stage, so I'm not quite sure it's going to be open to public.
Absolutely. Well, still exciting nonetheless. Eric, I appreciate your time. You're going to continue watching, as we are as well, and we'll continue bringing the folks on Fox 4 News the latest throughout the day. Appreciate you. Eden, back to you.
All right. By the way, Alex, I like the scarf. That's a good look for you. Love to see it. We'll see you in a bit. Thank you. All right. Well, keep it right here because we're following the latest on the draw, and we'll continue to bring it to you throughout the newscast. Of course, as I've said before, this is certainly an exciting day, and we're taking a live look outside right now. This is at the nation's capital, where it's been snowing throughout the morning. Earlier, it was looking like a snow globe. That's, of course, where the FIFA World Cup draw is happening right now. Closer to home, though, we don't have snow in the forecast, but it is another chilly day after a cloudy morning. Kylie Capps is in with the forecast. Kylie.
Hey, Eden, unseasonably cool this afternoon, but a little bit above what we topped out at yesterday. Yesterday, we recorded high temperatures in the mid-40s for most, but that was right around midday. And then as we went through the rest of your Thursday afternoon, temperatures actually fell a little bit more. Now, overnight last night into this morning, several spots were able to dip below freezing, but in the immediate metroplex, we officially fell into those mid-30s, freeze-free for our immediate metroplex counties, but outlying areas slightly colder. Denton, one of the coldest spots this morning, recording a morning low temperature of 29 degrees. After a cold start, we stay seasonably cool this afternoon. These high clouds will continue to stream overhead. We held on to the low clouds earlier this morning, but now we're mainly focused on those high clouds continuing to inch in. Those low clouds are a little bit more prominent for areas south and southeast, where we're still seeing a few sprinkles down in central Texas. We're going to keep the clouds around tonight and into tomorrow morning too. Tomorrow morning we'll likely wake up to some fog before partly sunny to mostly cloudy skies take over for the rest of your Saturday. A wide range of temperatures tomorrow, the upper 50s for some, the low 60s for the rest of us, but a weak front slides in for all very early Sunday morning, and that'll bring, once again, seasonably cool high temperatures Sunday afternoon and Monday. Here's the thing. The weather pattern is fairly quiet next week, thanks to what's called northwest flow. We look to stay dry with just a couple more cold fronts in sight. I'll have a closer look at your weekend forecast coming up.
Okay, we'll see you in a bit. Thank you, Kylie. Well, a divided U.S. Supreme Court allowed a newly redrawn congressional map to be used for the 2026 midterm election. This move aims to add 5 Republican seats in Congress, and it puts a lower court's ruling on hold while it makes a final decision on the case. Last month, a panel of federal judges blocked the new map, citing evidence of racial gerrymandering. Supreme Court justices in the majority questioned that ruling. SMU political scientist Matthew Wilson says Thursday's decision may indicate how the court will ultimately rule.
And I think what the Supreme Court has said here is they think that the motivations for this redistricting map are not about disenfranchising or decreasing representation for Black people or Hispanic people. It's to decrease representation of Democrats.
Redistricting, especially in favor for the party in power, isn't new. It usually happens with both political parties after a new census is taken. But this year, Governor Abbott added mid-census redistricting to the special legislative session at the request of President Donald Trump. And now Democrat-led states and Republican states are scrambling to change their maps and gain an advantage in 2026. The suspect accused of planting pipe bombs the night before the January 6th Capitol attack will appear in court today. The FBI identified and arrested 30-year-old Brian Cole Jr. after the case went unsolved for nearly 5 years. On the night of January 5th, investigators say they caught Cole on camera placing 2 bombs near the Republican and Democratic National Committee's headquarters. Agents conducted more than 1,000 interviews and went through more than 600 tips. They say they tracked down Cole using bank records, where investigators say he purchased material to make the bombs. Well, coming up on Fox 4 News at noon, the Cowboys still fighting for a playoff spot after a disappointing loss against the Lions. We're going to have all the action from Detroit next. And we're taking a live look at the Nodding Donkey Bar in Dallas, where soccer fans are gathering for the FIFA World Cup draw. We have all the details as North Texas prepares to host games next summer. We'll be right back. Well, the Dallas Cowboys' late season turnaround may have come just a little too late. It was a sloppy game for the road for Dallas against the Lions. The Cowboys' offense and defense simply weren't in sync, leading to several turnovers. The Lions sacked quarterback Dak Prescott 5 times after not having a sack at all in their previous game. The crucial 44-30 loss dropped Dallas's chances of getting into the playoffs to less than 10%.
We knew tonight that it was going to come down to a couple things. We knew we had to take care of the football and take it away. We didn't do a very good job with that. And then we knew we had to win the trenches. And we didn't really do that. When we'd get a little momentum, we just couldn't get a stop. And so the complimentary football wasn't what it's been over the last couple weeks. And when you play a good football team like this on the road, unfortunately, when you do that, it's going to be hard to win.
So Dallas is favored in its next 4 games, and if they win them all, the Cowboys could still sneak into the postseason. But it's clear there is still a lot of work to do before all that happens. Dallas will take its longest break between games in recent weeks, hosting the Minnesota Vikings on December 14th. And despite the Dallas Cowboys' disappointing loss last night, one player had a record-setting night. That was none other than kicker Brandon Aubrey. He kicked 5 field goals in 5 attempts. They were from 42, 55, 57, 63, and 29 yards. And he becomes the first player in NFL history to hit 3 field goals from 55 yards or more in just one game. And he's now the only player to have 3 field goals of 60 yards or more in a season. He broke a record set in 2019 by then Cowboys kicker Brett Maher, who had 2.
Staying seasonably cool this afternoon as clouds stay put with more ups and downs through the extended forecast. The one thing that's missing, a shot at some showers. I'll have a closer look at the weekend and the upcoming work week coming up next on Fox 4 News. Okay, well, before we get to our Friday forecast, I want to show you the latest drought monitor, which was released yesterday morning. Thanks to a couple of pretty significant rounds of showers and storms, drought is nearly non-existent across North Texas, with a couple of exceptions. That's mainly for areas to the west and southwest, and then again to the east and northeast, where dry to moderately dry conditions are still in place. Here's the deal. Unfortunately, our rainfall forecast over the next 7 days is minimal. I don't have any rain through the extended forecast, and even taking a longer look at kind of what the weather pattern is setting up into next weekend, I think that'll be a mostly dry forecast as well. So we have about a week and a half or so of no rain on tap across North Texas, which means drought conditions will likely worsen. And that's thanks to what's called dry northwest flow that's setting up. So our rain chances, again, we did have a low shot at a couple of sprinkles yesterday in the forecast for this morning. We've taken that out of the equation, and this weekend will be bone dry across North Texas. Our Fox 4 views this afternoon, those clouds staying put, preventing us from climbing too much throughout the day. I think that as we woke up to those low clouds, some low clouds will still be in place through the rest of the afternoon, but we'll mainly be focused on those high clouds streaming overhead. You can see that from our Dallas computer camera and even over the Texas Motor Speedway. There's still some low clouds in place, though, the farther east and southeast that you live, especially over the Cedar Creek Reservoir. But still, with clouds in place, temperatures struggle to climb out of those low to mid 50s. Now, this morning, several spots still fell to freezing, especially for areas to the north and northwest. That's what we were talking about yesterday. If we dip to the freezing mark, those would likely be the spots that record sub-freezing temperatures. The rest of us stayed freeze-free in those mid to upper 30s. Still kind of chilly, but thanks to the fact that we had less wind, that wind chill wasn't a concern. So we'll take that. Couple showers right now across far eastern parts of central Texas. That activity, though, is to the south and southeast of our viewing area, but you can clearly see that cloud cover streaming in. Areas to the west and southwest could see some breaks in the clouds. That's where temperatures will be a little warmer than the rest of us. The rest of us look to kind of max out in those low 50s. So we don't climb much more throughout the rest of the day as those clouds stay put. Tomorrow morning, we'll likely wake up to some patchy to even dense fog. Kind of cool to start off our Saturday morning. Most of us in the upper 30s and low 40s with a wide range of temperatures expected tomorrow afternoon thanks to the clouds. I think we're right around 60 degrees in the Metroplex, but you'll be a little bit cooler for areas to the east and northeast. Early Sunday morning, a cold front heads in, a pretty decent one at that. So we look to stay in the upper 50s Sunday afternoon before dropping back into those low 50s Monday. We are all over the place the next 7 days thanks to these frequent fronts. So on your forewarned 7-day forecast, we moderate slightly through the middle of the week. And then I think a stronger front looks to slide in the Thursday, Friday time frame. We'll continue to update you all week long.
Okay, Kylie, thank you. Well, Grand Prairie is holding its annual tree lighting ceremony tomorrow. This year, the tree will look a little different. Instead of traditional ornaments, it'll be decorated with thousands of LED lights. There will also be a parade and drone show. The fun starts tomorrow at 6 p.m. at 300 Main Street in downtown Grand Prairie. All right, well, tonight, Toys for Tots will be holding a drive in Waxahachie. It's happening from 5 to 10 at Rail Yard Park. We're expecting a Stuff the Semi event, music, and food trucks. If you can stop by with a new unwrapped toy, that would be wonderful. For a full list of other events or to learn how you can donate cash, just visit our website, fox4news.com, or you can actually use that QR code on your screen right there. Next on Fox 4 News, we go live from Cowtown to see how they're celebrating the FIFA World Cup draw. Welcome back. A lot of FIFA festivities going on right now in Fort Worth. The legendary Billy Bob's Texas is the headquarters in Cowtown, and that is where we find Fox 4's Dion Anglin. Dion, how's it going out there?
Hey there, Eden. Well, the world's biggest sporting event deserves the world's largest honky-tonk, and that is exactly what we have here, the iconic Billy Bob's Texas. This place is packed. We've got thousands of people that are here just taking in all of this excitement. They are, of course, paying attention to the national feed coming in, but there's also been a lot going on here as well. But just folks that are really excited and passionate about the sport of football and soccer, however you refer to it. But they're realizing, hey, this thing is really happening, and it is happening in just a few short months here in North Texas. Again, there are thousands of people here, and the cheers have been telling the story. We've heard from those representing Argentina, Colombia, Brazil, Mexico, and of course the United States. And so this has just been amazing, an amazing morning. This place started out empty, zero, and we've seen it just grow to thousands of people here in the iconic Billy Bob's Texas. Not only to celebrate the draw, of course, but just the overall journey of this event, the world's biggest sporting event, FIFA World Cup 26, on its way to North Texas. It's the very latest live. Eden from Fort Worth, Billy Bob's, back to you.
Wow, it certainly is packed out there. Billy Bob's Texas seems like the place to be. Well, next on Fox 4 News at noon, we check back in with Casey Stiegel on the latest from the FIFA World Cup draw as we get closer to learning who will be playing in North Texas. FBI arrested a suspect who allegedly planted pipe bomb blocks from the U.S. Capitol on the eve of January 6th riots. And this comes after a nearly 5-year-long investigation into the pipe bomb case. The suspect has been identified as 30-year-old Brian Cole Jr. of Virginia. Cole is facing charges of using an explosive device, but the Department of Justice said more charges are possible. The Cowboys were slammed with a loss against the Detroit Lions last night. Lions 44, Cowboys 30. The Lions controlled much of the first half, taking a 20-9 halftime lead. Despite the chance for a comeback, that all changed when wide receiver CeeDee Lamb left the game with a concussion in the third quarter. The Cowboys now sit at 6 wins, 6 losses, and 1 tie, trailing the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC East. We want to go back to Casey Stiegel. He's in the newsroom. The draw just started. He's here to discuss what countries have been drawn so far as we continue to learn who could be playing FIFA World Cup games right here in North Texas next summer. Casey.
Hey, Eden, underway as we speak. They have been running a little behind schedule. In fact, right now, about 9 spots have been drawn. A record 64 nations are in today's draw. 42 spots have already been locked in. Another 6 will be determined once playoff tournaments happen in March. So for today, they will be given placeholders. But our big focus here in North Texas will be groups F, J, and L. F has already been chosen. That is the Netherlands. So those teams in those groups will be the ones playing at AT&T Stadium, or Dallas Stadium, as FIFA will call it for the event. The first group stage game in Arlington will be held Sunday, June 14th, when Group F, the Netherlands, will play. Group L plays June 17th. Group J on June 22nd. June 25th is Group F, and then Group J scheduled once again for June 27th. Then we move to the knockout stage, where we will host 3 games. Finally, the Dallas Stadium semifinal will be held on Tuesday, July 14th. In all, North Texas will host 9 matches. That is more than any other host city. We also have another big day tomorrow in the World Cup world. That is when the full match schedule will be released, which will include all of the venues and the kickoff times. And if it sounds confusing, it is a bit convoluted, but we are breaking down and analyzing all of the draws as they are happening as we speak in real time. So you can head over to our website, fox4news.com, or the Fox local app to see how the pots and the groups are all filling out. Eden?
Yeah, I think we're all learning as we go, but I have to say the international excitement and interest surrounding this is certainly contagious. Thank you so much, Casey. Well, there's a lot of excitement, as I said, in the air as fans gear up for the 2026 FIFA World Cup drawing today. Fans took to different locations around Dallas to gather with friends and family to watch the draw. For one fan who we spoke to, she decided to watch the big reveal at the Nodding Donkey Bar, and she shares her enthusiasm about us with the World Cup, all while working on her laptop.
I'd like all of them to come here. I'm excited because my son just got into soccer, so he's been really excited. He's only 8, so this is something to kind of pump him up and kind of get him more excited about what he plays too. So I'm really excited to kind of share this experience with him for the first time, because he's never been old enough to really experience the World Cup. So I'm really excited about that.
Well, we'll be here to keep you updated on air and online at fox4news.com. Next summer's World Cup will bring huge crowds to North Texas and heightened security above them. Federal officials say drones are a top concern if they fall into the wrong hands. A $500 million grant program is available to help host cities detect and disable illegal devices. The deadline to apply is today, with award notifications expected in January. The money would allow agencies to buy detection systems, tracking software, and counter tools, all designed to stop suspicious aircraft before match day arrives. Former Arlington Police Chief Theron Bowman says that a decade ago, his department was the first in the country authorized to fly law enforcement drones, but today's risk is far greater.
They may be used to deploy chemicals, some type of chemical weapon, some type of explosive device, and obviously when we're talking about crowds and large crowds gathering, that would be catastrophic.
All of this is not just for the World Cup. Officials say much of the technology and systems are permanent and can be used for other large-scale events down the road. We'll keep it right here. We're following the latest on the draw, and we'll continue to bring it to you throughout this newscast. Scan the QR code that you're going to see hopefully soon on your screen. We're going to, oh, there it is. It's at the bottom right. We're going to keep you up to date on everything that's going on with this draw. It's It's another chilly day as we head into the weekend. Kylie's here to give us an update on what we can expect. Are we going to get some sunshine, a little bit of a warm up, Kylie?
We should by the end of the weekend, Eden. Sunshine will be hard to come by today and even tomorrow for parts of North Texas. I'll explain more about that with our full forecast. But thankfully, this afternoon won't be as cold as what we saw yesterday. Yesterday, we struggled to climb out of those mid 40s. And with winds staying kind of breezy out of the north following Wednesday night's cold front, we all dealt with wind chills in the 30s all afternoon long. Satellite and radar showing an increase in those mid to high level clouds continuing to stream overhead. This morning we woke up to low clouds. Those have slowly but surely started to break apart, and we are seeing some breaks in the clouds for areas to the west and southwest. The rest of us mostly cloudy to partly sunny skies at times. Those sprinkles staying well to the south and southeast as that final disturbance heads across South Texas today. Temperatures across the Lone Star State were right at 50 degrees right now at the DFW airport, even cooler the farther south and southeast, thanks to those clouds staying put and a few of those showers to dodge across central and southeastern parts of the state. Across East Texas, temperatures will also struggle to climb out of those upper 40s this afternoon. That's where I expect those clouds to stay put through the back half of the day. Slightly warmer for areas west and southwest where breaks in the clouds are a little bit more likely. And in the immediate metroplex, just seasonably cool for early December, all of us climbing into the low and mid 50s. The one thing that's missing from our extended forecast is a shot at some showers and thunderstorms. As a pretty dry weather pattern takes over, no rain is in sight. I'll have a look at your weekend forecast in just a bit.
Kylie, thank you. The Department of Homeland Security launched an immigration enforcement plan in New Orleans. The operation is reported to target around 5,000 arrests, and it marks the latest escalation in the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. The move follows weeks of speculation that Border Patrol agents would move their operations to New Orleans after crackdowns in Chicago and Charlotte. DHS says the plan targets violent non-citizens with criminal records.
The idea that anyone would say that all communities in this city feel safe is completely false and detached from reality.
Individuals that were violent criminals that were released out onto those streets, and we've picked them up and we're going to bring them to justice.
Officials estimate there are several hundred agents spread across the New Orleans area. Another U.S. military strike on a boat, this time in the Eastern Pacific. The Pentagon says the attack killed 4 alleged drug smugglers. Lawmakers have been questioning the legality of these strikes, including a September attack in the Caribbean, where a follow-up strike reportedly killed 2 survivors. In a closed-door hearing Thursday, a Navy admiral denied claims that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth ordered, quote, "kill them all." The House and Senate National Safety Committees also saw footage of the strikes. Following the briefing, Democrats said the survivors were in clear distress, while Republicans claim they appear to be trying to flip over the boat to continue bringing drugs to the U.S. Lawmakers are now questioning the full release, or requesting rather, the full release of the video and any other verbal or written order on the strikes. A federal vaccine advisory committee voted today to end the recommendation that all U.S. babies get the hepatitis B vaccine the day that they're born. The government has advised that all babies be vaccinated against the liver infection after birth for decades. The shots are considered to be a public health success for preventing thousands of illnesses, but Kennedy's advisory committee agreed to recommend the birth dose for babies whose mothers test positive and in cases where the mom was not tested. Next on Fox 4 News, the Mean Green making history as the football team prepares for its first matchup in the American Conference Championship. We've got the details. taking a live look outside right now at downtown Dallas, where it's 50 degrees. Still feels kind of chilly outside. This is the perfect day to go to a watch party and watch the FIFA World Cup draw. So much excitement surrounding that. Well, tonight, for the first time in school history, the Mean Green will compete in the American Conference Championship. The UNT football team just landed in New Orleans to face Tulane. There's a lot on the line tonight, including a potential spot in the college football playoffs. North Texas is the 2.5-point favorite to win. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock tonight from the Green Waves Ullman Stadium. Texas Tech will also make history, playing in the program's first Big 12 title game. The number 4 Red Raiders face the number 11 BYU Cougars. Texas Tech handed BYU its only loss of the season in October when the Red Raiders beat the Cougars 29-7. The rematch is at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Well, former FIFA World Cup championship Thierry Henry is joining Fox Sports' FIFA World Cup broadcast team. Henry is known as one of the best strikers in the sport and is an icon for the French national team. He has played in 4 World Cups. He will be joining as one of the broadcast lead analysts. Henry made his debut today during the final draw right here on Fox. And next on Fox 4 News, we head back to Fort Worth, but this time to a brewery to check out what FIFA-themed celebrations they have ahead of next summer's game. The World Cup draw coverage continues right here. Welcome back. We are taking a live look. This is from D.C. Look at the White House. That is less than 2 miles away from the Kennedy Center, where the FIFA World Cup draw is taking place. It looks like a snow globe out there. You got some snow. And you know what? It is still not raining on anyone's parade. You can still feel the excitement all the way from there, right?
Oh, 100%. And also, I mean, just with that snow blanketing the ground, it just kind of gives a little bit more of that holiday-like feel, too, for the draw. So super cool. For us here at home, though, Yeah, no snow, which I mean is a plus.
Yeah,
okay. We're not complaining about that, but you might be complaining when you take a look at the extended forecast and figure out that, well, we have a few days where temperatures will be unseasonably warm for early to mid-December, less of a holiday-like feel. Today's still kind of cool, though. We woke up to temperatures in the 30s for mostly cloudy skies through the rest of the day today. Maybe some breaks for areas to the west and southwest. Temperatures look to stay in the low 50s in the immediate metroplex. Some outlying areas to the west and southwest will be slightly warmer and then a little bit cooler the farther east and northeast that you live. Tomorrow morning, we'll wake up to a few clouds as well as some patchy to even dense fog at times before partly sunny skies take over. We're right around 60 degrees tomorrow afternoon in the immediate metroplex, but it all depends on cloud cover. I think that areas to the east and northeast will be much cooler, struggling to even get out of the 50s. A weak front slides in Sunday morning, likely before sunrise, and most of us look to stay in the upper 50s Sunday afternoon, with the coldest day through the next 7 days, likely Monday, following in the wake of that front. Nice shot of the big airport this afternoon. Temperatures upper 40s, right around 50 degrees, thanks to this increasing cloud cover over the next several hours. We won't be able to climb too much more. I think that most of us top out in those low 50s, slightly cooler to the east and northeast, slightly warmer to the west and southwest. And then you can see temperatures across all of North Texas where that trend is already setting up. Areas to the east and northeast a little bit cooler, to the west and southwest already in those mid to upper 50s. And across the immediate metroplex, most of us upper 40s to right around 50 degrees, our hour-by-hour forecast. We keep the clouds locked in through the majority of the day today and even tonight. Tonight, I think we could see a few breaks, and that'll allow for some patchy to even dense fog to develop by tomorrow morning. By the time the fog lifts and mixes out, partly sunny skies look to take over tomorrow. However, I think a few clouds will linger for areas to the north and east, and that's why we expect to see more of a wide range of afternoon temperatures with those clouds staying put. Now, Saturday night into Sunday morning, a pretty decent front looks to slide in. That front will reinforce some extra clouds Sunday morning before they clear for plenty of afternoon sun, and a fairly dry weather pattern looks to set up after that. So even with a couple of fronts on the 7-day forecast, these are going to be dry fronts. There's not any moisture for the atmosphere to work with. And then that weather pattern that looks to set up as we head into next week is also dry, thanks to what's called northwest flow. That continues to reinforce dry air at the surface with high pressure looking to make a return across the desert southwest. Okay, so again, tomorrow we see a little bit more of a warm up out ahead of that next front, that front sliding in early Sunday morning, likely before sunrise. But unfortunately, that extended forecast for at least half of the country, warmer than average for early to mid-December. And on your forewarned 7-day forecast, you can see that trend easily. By mid to late week, it looks as if those temperatures will soar into the upper 60s. Thursday, I'm going to trend a little warmer looking at the recent data that's coming in. Friday could be kind of chilly thanks to a stronger front that looks to head in sometime Thursday night into Friday morning. We'll be right back after this.
Well, soccer fans all across North Texas have been glued to today's FIFA World Cup draw that started just a bit ago. So here's what we know so far. Argentina has been moved into Group J, which has 2 matches in Arlington. Why does that matter? Well, there's a strong possibility that soccer superstar Lionel Messi could be playing right here in North Texas. Australia is in Group D with the U.S. men's national team. The Netherlands leads Group F with 2 matches in Arlington, and England and Croatia are in Group L, which has 1 group stage game in North Texas. Fox 4's Stephen Dial joining us now from the happiest hour in Uptown Dallas, where fans gathered hours ago. Stephen.
Yeah, fans are patiently waiting to see where their favorite country, what group they will be in, and we're already learning some of that. But yeah, a couple of them took their lunch break off to just come here to watch the draw. Now, the draw, of course, live on Fox 4, and it's still going on, but a lot of people saying that this is just a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, experience. We know that North Texas will host more matches than any host city in the country, including the semifinal match. So we wanted to talk to fans who were here during work, some of them, to ask them why they wanted to watch the draw.
Huge. It's the biggest game in the world.
It's going to be incredible. It's not just about the games. It's about celebrating Dallas.
Because traffic's going to be crazy, but we're just going to... She's going to be on a bike, I'll be on a scooter.
Yeah, traffic will be crazy. Now, we are still awaiting to learn certain things. We already know some of the picture as to what matches we will host at Dallas Stadium in Arlington, AT&T Stadium in Arlington. So if Lionel Messi is here, we know that's going to be huge. So we're also waiting to see if USA will play any matches here in North Texas, but the impact is going to be big. This is really the big kickoff, guys, for the World Cup next year.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a big deal if Lionel Messi would come to Dallas to play, or Arlington, I should say. But I have to say, whether you're a soccer fan or not, it's so refreshing and exciting to see North Texas play a huge part in an international game like this. So certainly a big deal. Thank you so much, Stephen. We're going to take a final look at our forecast next. Kylie is going to tell us what to expect as we head into the weekend. We'll be right back. right, we're taking another live look. This is from the North Dallas Tower. It's gray, it's gloomy. I feel like I've been saying this all week long, with the exception of, I think, one day when the sun was out. But you know what? Listen, it is snowing in D.C. At least we're not dealing with snow. So we have something to be grateful for, a glass half full perspective. Well, Team USA's 2026 Winter Olympic uniforms have been released, and Ralph Lauren designed the outfits. The Winter Olympics will be in northern Italy, where the temperature averages 35 to 40 degrees. The uniform for the opening ceremony features a white wool coat with an American flag knitted on the sleeves and a red, white, and blue sweater. And for the closing ceremony, athletes will wear a puffer jacket and a wool turtleneck featuring that same color palette. And both uniforms come with knitted hats and mittens and boots with red laces. I like that classic look. Well, a lot going on today with the 2026 FIFA World Cup draw. For all of the developments going on, just scan your QR code for the very latest. We're going to continue following all the updates as the draw continues. And we will have coverage all throughout our later newscast, so stay with us on Fox 4.
There's a lot of excitement in the newsroom today with this draw. I mean, it's kind of fun because we're right in the action.
And we're all kind of learning as we go. So if you're not like a diehard soccer fan, you're like, okay, I should probably,
That's what we were just talking about. We were like, okay, so how into soccer are you? And we're like, well, I played in elementary school.
There you go. Yep.
That's the extent.
That should count for something.
Of that. Been to a few FC Dallas games. I love watching the World Cup. It is so cool. It is the one unifying force across the globe.
And that's
I mean, it's incredible. I know. I love it. All right, let's take another look at your forewarned 7-day forecast today. These clouds stay put. Temperatures look to stay in those low 50s for most, slightly cooler for areas to the east and northeast, slightly warmer for areas west and southwest. We wake up to a little bit of fog tomorrow morning. Partly sunny skies continue. Wide range of afternoon temperatures tomorrow, too, before a weak front slides in before sunrise Sunday, with unseasonably cool conditions taking over for the back half of the weekend.
All right. Well, for news anytime, just go to our website.
An argument actually is the better argument for the defense, and this is it. When Mangione was approached by law enforcement officers, he originally said that he didn't want to talk to them and that he was just there to use the Wi-Fi. So the defense is going to argue that that was him invoking his right to remain silent. Of course, the prosecution will say that that wasn't a clear invocation. And even if it was, when Mangione continued to talk to them and he provided false information, including a false name and a false ID, he retracted his invocation of the right to remain silent. So that's a critical issue there. Did he invoke? The second is, when was he placed under arrest? And the reason that matters is when a criminal defendant is placed under arrest, they have the right to have their Miranda rights read to them. And obviously, we've all heard those rights and we know what they are. But what triggers it is an arrest and a custodial interrogation. So what is an arrest? It's not just necessarily when you're placed in handcuffs. An arrest under the law, Christina, is when a reasonable person thinks they are not free to leave. So the defense here is arguing that when multiple police officers surrounded Mangione, he was not free to leave. And therefore, the time that officers were supposed to read him his Miranda rights was actually much earlier than the time that he was placed in handcuffs. That's why there's so much discussion of that 15 to 20 minutes before the handcuffs were actually placed on them.
I have to ask you, Nima, have you been in a situation in court or really seen and watched as critical evidence like this is thrown out? Because we know that during those search and seizures, they found this this handgun that they said that he had on him. They found the fake documents. How much would that hurt the prosecution's case? And if that is to be thrown out, are there still key pieces of evidence that would allow the trial to be ongoing and still in a favorable sense there for the prosecution?
Christina, I have, and I've been on the winning side most of the time, but on the losing side as well as a prosecutor. And, when you get a case as a prosecutor, often law enforcement have finished their investigation and they've arrested someone. So you're really stuck with the hand that you're given. And sometimes there are constitutional violations and you do lose pieces of evidence. Now, the statements that we've been talking about, I think, the case is going to be fine without those statements. Obviously, if you're the prosecution, you want to get out the fact that he lied, he gave a fake ID, he had a Greyhound bus ticket under another name. That's all consciousness of guilt, right? People that lie and provide false information to law enforcement, usually they're covering up some sort of criminal activity. Now, with respect to what was seized from the backpack, Christina, that could be fatal to the case, because if the defense is successful in suppressing the 3D ghost gun, the silencer, the manifesto, his journal, I mean, that would be very, very difficult for the prosecution to overcome, because that's the murder weapon. The manifesto is the evidence of his motive. Now, look, maybe they can still get there with the video testimony, with eyewitness testimony, but you definitely want what was seized from Mangione to go into evidence. So that's a different type of analysis. If the arrest was lawful, then law enforcement can search Mangione incident to arrest, and that's anything within his wingspan, including what was in his backpack. That can also be searched pursuant to an inventory search. So why does all this matter? These are all exceptions to the warrant requirement. Usually you need a warrant to conduct a search, but if it's a search incident to arrest, if it's an inventory search, you can bypass the warrant. So if prosecutors can successfully overcome the suppression motion, I think they're going to be in good shape to get a conviction in a case like this. If the judge sides with the defense and suppresses or excludes this evidence because it was unlawfully obtained pursuant to an unlawful search, then we may have a big problem for the state and the federal government in this case.
And the other thing I found interesting, Nima, I'm so appreciative that the way that you broke that down, but all of this is happening, this entire week of all of these pretrial hearings included the 1-year anniversary of the death of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Was that intentional in any way, or sometimes these things set up to kind of be around an anniversary to bring more attention?
I think it's just the timing of it all. Obviously, it's the defendant's right to a speedy trial. So the defendant doesn't waive that right. Things can move quickly. But sometimes we know, especially in these death penalty cases, the defense likes to drag it out because they want to file every motion they can to try to challenge evidence like this, or expect to see the defense to challenge the dual prosecution, state and federal. That's not typical in these types of cases, because we know good defense lawyers, they're not just thinking about the jury trial, they're thinking about after the jury trial and a potential appeal. And we have seen it in very high profile death penalty cases when the defense does a good job litigating the case pre-trial. Sometimes prosecutors throw in the towel and they take the death penalty off the table. We saw this very recently in the Brian Kohberger case, where the lawyers there in Idaho litigated the case for more than 2 years. And finally, shortly before trial, the prosecution agreed to offer a life without the possibility of parole deal to Kohberger. And obviously the defense gladly took that to save their client's life.
And it was very interesting because there were people who liked that decision that was ultimately made, and the fact that he was given that just so that way the families didn't have to go through it, but some victims were upset in that case. So again, it'll be certainly something interesting to watch. Again, Nima, thanks so much for giving us the update on Luigi Mangione. We want to stay, though, there in New York and talk about yet another case or another high-profile New York official. I'm putting this up on the screen. This is courtesy of Fox News. But this news also came out late yesterday, saying denied that the DOJ attempted but failed to persuade a grand jury in Virginia to indict the New York Attorney General Letitia James a second time after a judge found that the prosecutor who brought the first indictment was serving unlawfully as interim U.S. attorney. James originally charged with 1 count of bank fraud and making false statements to a financial institution. I have to ask you, Neva, when I saw this story come out, we knew that it was a possibility that they would try to bring these charges once again in this case. Everything that happened after it was initially thrown out because of that. What do you make of this second time around that a grand jury decided not to re-indict Letitia James at this time?
Christina, my initial reaction was, wow, I can't begin to state how extraordinarily rare this is for a grand jury not to return an indictment. You can probably count on one or two hands the number of times this happens at the federal level in any given year. So the fact that grand jurors chose not to indict Tish James and return a no bill is very surprising. Now, obviously, this is a unique case, and Tish James and Donald Trump and Pam Bondi and everyone really involved, these are all polarizing figures. There's people that love them and there's people that hate them. So that certainly makes the possibility of a no bill more likely. But the federal grand jury system is one that it is set up. The deck is stacked in favor of the prosecution, Christina. There's no one in that grand jury room but the prosecutor, a court reporter, and the witness. The grand jurors never hear the defense side of the case.